For some, being at peak performance and achieving success are all in the mind. Coaches for businesses believe it's also a science that involves doing a deep dive into the inner workings of an enterprise and what drives it. Now, today, a new movement is coming to life designed to help ignite the fire of corporate Philippines, one story at a time. Now, here for more on the game plan for national transformation, international keynote speaker Cherry Pua-Africa. She's also a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming and one of the most widely followed transformation coaches in Asia. Good morning, Cherry.
Good morning. Beautiful morning to you, Paolo.
Yep, beautiful morning to you as well. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I'd love to learn more, and I know everybody else does as well. Fill us in.
It is a very powerful tool that started in the 70s in the States. It's basically an intervention tool to peer into subjective experiences.
Okay.
Basically, you could apply it in corporations and individuals, parents to students to practically anyone. Basically, it tells us there are three components for human achievement: your mindset, your communication, and your programming or your habits.
Right. Now, I think it's very timely. I mean, off-cam we were chatting about the climate of change.
Yes.
The climate of change that surrounds us. Here, locally, abroad, all over the world, and it's really up to us to sort of attune ourselves to how to best tackle that change and really sort of get our communication across, get our message across, and make that message as clear and concise as possible to get towards our goal. What should we be doing to become more effective communicators?
Yeah, you mentioned something about we needed balance.
Yeah.
Change is a very powerful narrative. Everybody loves change. There's a quiet yearning among all of us, and we've seen it in the two elections.
Sure.
That, people are wanting change, and NLP is a very powerful way in order to manage this change. By balance, we call it in NLP resourceful.
Right.
Okay, we need to be resourceful. We need to be at the highest state, for example, to be able to cope with change. We need to be able to have a strong story, yung narrative natin for change. People see habits, people see how you communicate with each other, but at the very core, the genesis of your communication is your mindset. It will always reflect what is in the inside, will always reflect on the outside.
Right.
And our public, the people that we lead, for example, in corporations, are judging us on the basis of our communication. So it's very important that you have congruence, that your mind, your mindset, and your communication are in congruence, and that your habits are actually manifesting this.
Right. How can we be, you were talking about becoming more effective communicators, and that doesn't necessarily always mean, how would you say, being an effective communicator is about being heard and hearing other people's ideas, being able to debate in a healthy manner, being able to sort of get your point across and at the same time digest what other people are saying. How can we be better at that, especially now at a time where there's so much conflict in opinion and differences in such?
I think the very basic presupposition or assumption of NLP is that we must be 100% responsible for our communication. You always think it takes two to tango.
Right.
But really, we believe that, the meaning of your communication is the response that you get. So the intention is one thing, but how the impact is another thing.
Right.
So how you're actually, your viewers, your audience, your people are perceiving your communication, that is primal. So it is your responsibility to guard your message.
Right.
And you have to make people care for your message. And so it's communication is a leadership imperative. Communication is an engagement imperative, and so we must be very conscious with the words that we use, with the tonality that we use, and with the body language that we use, that we venture into, in order to support whatever it is that we're trying to communicate.
Okay, are all leaders good communicators, or does a good communicator automatically make a good leader? These things sort of go hand in hand.
Yes.
And I suppose it pays to groom those qualities if you want to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve.
It's funny, when we go into our corporate trainings, we ask leaders, for example, do you think you should be effective communicators? Half of them would say yes, half of them would say no.
Right.
But we challenge that. We tell them that if you want to be leaders, you have to be effective communicators, and not just communicators like engaging in conversations. You must have great speakership skills.
Right.
There are many types of leadership. No, we have the motivational leaders. We have the technicians who are very good, who are experts at at the knowledge that they possess. But the highest form of leadership is transformational leadership.
Okay.
These are leaders who create leaders, and in order to expand your sphere of influence, you need to be able to touch the heart of people. You need to be able to engage. You need to be able to speak, and you need to be able to move your message from the left brain to the right brain.
Right. And we've been talking about very lofty cerebral concepts here. How does the concept of NLP fit into everyday life, to your corporate life, to that sort of thing, and what form or shape does this training and program take for people in terms of just giving it a form and a shape? What can people expect if they want to get into and absorb the ideas or the concepts of NLP?
Yeah. NLP is a fun, playful, dramatic technique. So that's what makes it different. In fact, you were mentioning about cerebral, right? There's a lot of concept download when you do our workshops, for example. But at the very core of NLP is practice.
Right.
You need to be able to master it, to practice it, and we call it live NLP.
Right.
Now, it's one thing to actually preach it. It's another thing to practice it. When a person embodies NLP, and we call it the NLP X Factor, the mojo, parang you are NLP. We call it, just NLP. And it's in your communication. It's very resourceful. It's energetic. It's passionate. You're oozing basically with energy.
Right.
And highest form of state, peak state, and that's NLP. When you engage with somebody, for example, you are responsible for your action. You are operating at a higher level of responsibility.
Right.
Which means you're not feeling like a victim. You're not whining. You're not complaining. You are actually taking accountability for the circumstances around you. That is NLP.
All right, good stuff. Well, I think we've just shown people the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. If people want to learn more about NLP, the things that the ideas and the concepts that you've opened our eyes to, is there any place they can read up a bit more, workshops and seminars perhaps that they can attend?
Yeah, there are of course a lot of books on NLP. That would be a nice beginning stage.
Yep.
We do have workshops. We have a public workshop that's coming up. The first one, end of November, that's a youth empowerment seminar where we try and distill and chunk down NLP concepts to the level of young children from as young as 7 years
Really?
old
Okay.
to 18 years old. And then on December 8 to 10, we have a very powerful program for professionals, for individuals, for parents, for business people, for startup entrepreneurs.
Right.
It's called Ignite the Fire in You. It's an ultimate transformation journey where they will experience their breakthrough, and through NLP they could power this up and ignite it so that they could change whatever it is that they wanted to change in their lives and at work.
Right. Well, it's very fitting that you're talking about igniting your passions, because one of the hallmarks actually of NLP seminars or practice is the fire walk. Walking over coals and that sort of thing. There's no great mystery to that. It's really, like you said, putting your mind in the right place and really priming yourself for peak performance.
Yes, so we do fire walk. No? They walk on a bed of 600 degrees Celsius of fire. You would actually need to venture into your most primal energy, which is courage.
Right.
For you to be able to walk through that, your mindset must transcend the fear of the fire and the fear of pain, and then you apply whatever it is that you learn from the fire walk back to work, back as a parent, and back to as corporate leaders.
Right. Well, you've certainly ignited our curiosity on it. If people are interested, there are books, there are seminars that they can attend. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ms. Cherry Pua-Africa. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's Mornings at ANC today. I'm Paolo